Hi, Jules here, and thanks so much for joining me on Jules FM. Today's episode is part 2 of my chat with Janine Allis, marketing guru, glass half full kind of woman, and anything is possible all-round legend. In this episode, Janine shares the power of mindset and how in every way that you look at it, with the right attitude, anything is possible. If you haven't listened to part 1 already, put that on your to-do list, as it's a great episode with lots of takeaways, one not to be missed. We pick up here with Janine sharing her acronyms VERB and SOAR and the impact embracing the right thinking can have on your life. Now, I've heard you use, and I think you created these acronyms, VERB and SOAR. Could you explain those for our listeners?
Yeah, look, for me, this for me was definitely a thing I live by, because it was one of those things that I sort of was thinking about. I went, okay, verb. Now, a verb is a victim. They're entitled. They need to be rescued, and they blame the world for their woes, right? And so and you can hear it in friends, or you can hear it in yourself, right? You can hear it with employees. And when I interview people, I ask questions to try and find out whether they're a verb, right? And verbs create full stops in their life. Verbs will say things like, there's a glass ceiling. Verbs will say, there's an imposter syndrome. Verbs will say, there's tall poppy. Verbs will say, the interest rate rise is killing my business. Verbs will say everything. They'll blame everyone else for their lack of success or lack of happiness, right? I've been in my job for a year. I deserve a pay rise, right? I have a problem. Can someone help me solve it, right? They need to be rescued, and they blame. And obviously, we know what blame is, right? Everyone blames everyone, right? The other one is SOAR, right? And it's solutions, ownership, accountability and responsibility. And I say choose to soar, right? Soar above it. And even in the point where you communicate, right? When we want to sort of go hard and go, blame, we go, no, let's communicate and go, actually, let's communicate in a soar capacity. And people who choose to soar are just more successful.
Yeah, right.
Because they get promotions. They work on their business harder because they know that, yes, we can't control interest rate rises or we can't control COVID, but there is always something we can do. So they're the ones that they're the ones successful. They're the ones that go, let's jump into AI heavily because they can help me with my problems, right? So it's the people who soar. And look, that doesn't mean that we can't all be victims, right? And we can't fall into that verb capacity. I mean, we all go have our pity party and go, for me, right? And that's okay, but just be aware of it. And so, I think the other thing is mindset is, how do you talk to yourself? Like, do you tell yourself you're fat, you're not smart enough, you're not good enough, you're not big enough? Do you tell yourself that? And then stop it. I read this book called Untethered Soul, which I really resonated with. And it was all about that really busy mind. And that if you sit down and think about it for a second, the mind does not shut up. It will go, look at those shoes. I wonder if they're leather. Oh, look at that person. Gee, I wonder if that colour's right. Oh my God, has that person da-da-da? And it just even now I can hear it go, Jules' logo on this, and and what's that other piece? Like, shut up, right?
Yeah.
And so it's really sort of being aware of it to then kind of go, okay, let's just chill your heels, brain, and just trying to learn to meditate or learn to just sit and be in that nature or whatever, do yoga or whatever it is. To give yourself a break and to get out of the people call it monkey mind, but So that's sort of around the mindset and verb and SOAR. I think that's a fundamental. I think that's a foundation for people having a good life.
Yeah, absolutely. And in your experience, can you take a verb and make them, or can they become SOARs?
Yeah, look, I think you can. I mean, as I said, I've had verb moments, right?
Yeah.
I think if they're really entrenched as a verb, right, it's difficult. Because I think sometimes people like drama. People like to complain.
Yeah.
People like to, and we know them, we've seen them, we've spoken to them, and they can't get away from that. Their habit is so instilled that you just go, I don't know what it's going to take for you to, because in some respects I think that they enjoy the drama, or they enjoy the thing, the attention they get when they go, poor me, So I don't know. I don't think it's like, if people going, oh my God, I recognize myself as a verb. I think if you do recognize yourself as a verb, then you absolutely can change.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Like an alcoholic. First step is, I am an alcoholic.
Recognize it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What is the best piece of advice you've ever received?
I don't know. I think you take advice at various times from various people. In business, it was probably make every department accountable for their expenses. Don't just have a big pot, which is called expenses. Because when people are accountable, then they think twice, because when the P&L comes out so that was really good. So if you want to drive profitability in your business, make people accountable for their expenses and their income. So probably that. Probably the other piece of advice is, I can't think of any. No.
That's good advice, especially if you're running a business. That's great advice.
Let's leave it that. Probably goes back to the verb and SOAR. But I think quite often I'm a big one of going, if I hear someone talk, I'll go, oh my God, I love those. I'll just pick up those little diamonds I've just thrown out and put in my pocket, right?
Yeah.
And I make them mine. And that's okay. It's not copying. It's just going, what does it resonate, and how does it resonate for me, and how can I deliver it in a positive way to my community?
Mm,
and
absolutely.
So, and that's the whole thing of, podcasts and, it's like, whoever you sort of resonate with, you will get, you go, oh my God, I really like that. I'm going to kind of take it and make it mine.
Yeah, and share it.
And share
Great.
it. Yeah.
So I know you've spoken about being a lifelong learner and being very comfortable being vulnerable. Is there anything that makes you uncomfortable still that you do, that you still go, oh, it makes you nervous?
No, it's hard now, because you sort of get to a point where you've, because I make words up, I stuff things up, I'm always stuffing up, right? Yeah. And so I just go, it is what it is, right? I'm sort of at that point where, if someone thinks that I'm this or that, that's their issue, not mine. So it's, I'm sort of, I just know I'm flawed, and that's okay.
It's so liberating though, isn't it? I don't know if you were ever a people pleaser, but to get to a point where you go, okay.
The amount of times where I feel like obliged to go to an event, I'm at the event, I'm dressed up and my hair's done, and I just go, oh my God, and I'm talking about the weather to someone, I'm just going, oh my God. And I just don't do it. Because I'm so obsessed with getting up at 5 o'clock every morning that if there's an event, I'm a standard joke that my dinner, if we go out for dinner with my girlfriends, it's 5 o'clock.
Yeah, that's me too. I'm like,
I've
got other priorities.
Yeah, and I like to be in bed by 8:30, and I like to be up, and I like to feel good. I stopped drinking. I don't know about. I probably reduced drinking and then completely stopped about a year ago.
Yeah.
Not that I'm a non-drinker, and if there's a champagne, I'll probably have one with a celebration, but I just love it. I just love having the clarity.
Yeah, so you feel better, sleep better?
Everything. It's poison, right?
It is.
Someone actually said, I saw something on Instagram about it actually, and it was a guy, right? Yeah. And this really resonated with me. He went, here is a vodka, here's a chicken. I'm going to give this vodka to a chicken to see what his reaction will be. And I was thinking, that's really mean. Why would you do that? That's really bad, right? Anyway, look at your face, right? And he said, and he got the shake and he got it all ready and he was about to pour it into the thing with its grain so the chicken could drink the alcohol. And he stopped and he went, if you're thinking how bad that is to give to a chicken, so if you're saying I wouldn't give alcohol to a chicken and I wouldn't give alcohol to a child or children, why would you drink it yourself?
Oh, seems so obvious, right?
I know. I kind of went, because I was thinking, you better not give that to chicken, that's really bad.
It's like animal cruelty, don't do it.
Exactly. And yet we drink it knowing that you wouldn't give it to a chicken.
And apparently I have heard that it's classed as an A1, like class 1 carcinogenic.
Oh, it is. It is. It's terrible. They did research on I think the safe amount to drink alcohol is 0. Oh. Like it's poison.
Yes. Right? I know, but it's part of our culture.
It's crazy. It is. Like sometimes you're weird. If you go out and you go, oh, do you want a drink? You go, no, can I just have a mineral water or something? They go, oh, you're one of those, are you? But, and it's really hard being a parent of older kids who just go out and get pissed. You go, oh, and then you go, well, hang on, that was probably me, and I survived, and hopefully the body can recover and repair, and.
I'm like you because I've got older kids too, 2 of them now, and the third one's still coming. But I'm like, I look and I think, oh, it's so bad for you. But you're right. We probably did it and survived.
And also by you saying to them it's bad, all I hear is, wow, wow.
In fact, I think sometimes they may have even done that at me. So
yeah, they probably, yeah. So, I mean, what would we know? Like the other thing I send my kids all the time is AirPods. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm constantly going, here's the research. The way AirPods talks is through your brain. It can't be good, right?
Yeah.
Wear strings.
Yes. I'm laughing because when I send my children stuff, my daughter has openly said to me, I just delete it. I don't even read. I just delete.
Yeah, but when you see the AirPods in the pocket of the jeans, you just wash them.
It has. I was going to say, it's been through the wash and dryer a few times.
And they bloody work still after that.
No, they're like indestructible.
I know. They're like a cockroach.
Oh dear. Okay, in your book, back to questions. In your book, The Accidental Entrepreneur, you share some strategies for business. I know you've already kind of given us a few little gems there, but I was wondering if you could share maybe 1 or 2 others of your secret sauce, your secrets to successful business.
I think the key one is people talk about branding and you've got to remember that you and yourself, you're a brand. I'm not talking about, being the front of your brand. I'm talking about the reputation that you have in your business, right? So if you do business with someone, you do it with integrity, right? And if you say what you're going to do what you say, right? So even if that means you've got it wrong, then do everything in your power to rectify it. Right? So people are okay with things going wrong, right? Things go wrong. No one means to, but things go wrong. It's what you do about it. Good businesses are ones that just do a good job. The great businesses are ones that when it goes wrong, that they're really active about it. So, yeah, so it is one of those things that you just go, and I always talk about the BBQ test, right? So if I'm going, I'm at the barbecue, I've got my non-alcoholic beer,
Water,
beer, and I go. Someone said, "Oh, are you doing some work with Jules?" Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've worked with Jules. Actually, I highly recommend her. She returns your call. She's really on it. This stuffed up, and she got onto it like that. Jules is amazing, right? Or, so have you done some business with Jules? Oh, yes. Yeah, so she won't return my call. She's just ghosting me. The product was faulty, and she just didn't even bother even saying sorry. I mean, so I think the key thing is, what do you want people to say about you at the barbecue?
Yeah, right. Yep. When you're not there and when no one's listening, or, you're not listening, it's not for your benefit. It's, okay.
It's like my husband and I often say that it's interesting when people talk about it, they might go, oh, how's your husband? And I go, oh my God, he's great, da da da. You really know how you feel about them, because when you verbalise it, you go, oh my God, I actually must dig this guy.
Yeah. That's, it's interesting, comes to mind. My husband, fantastic, awesome guy. And my dad is old school, a little misogynistic, a little bit racist, Anyway,
that happens.
Unfortunately. But I was outside, just out of the room, and my husband was watching girls' cricket, because he loves it. And my dad was there, and he's like, oh, can we change the channel? And my husband genuinely goes, no, I really like it. This is the skill level, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I know it's such a simple thing, but I was like, yes, it's so genuine, and we're not there, and it's something that's, honest and authentic. And I was like, and he could have easily gone along with my dad. But it's like, it's great.
We're so conditioned, right? I was, grew up in a family, not much money, very, not being horrible, but they had a very small view of, if I became a secretary, oh my God, that would be amazing. And as soon as I can marry someone and get settled in, then, that's...
You made it.
Yeah, I made it, right?
Yeah.
And then you go, and I also grew up in a time where that, if someone pinching your bum, mate, that's a compliment, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Having guys under your desk looking up your skirts, that's funny, right? like, and, someone, one of my boss, List Advertising, would touch me and I go, can you not? And he'd go, just put up with it. Like, that was the era. Like, and people sort of just go, all right, oh my God, that's outrageous. But like, you got to stop and think, that was when Benny Hill was on.
Yes.
Right? That was when The Box, right? That was when Playboy was there. That was when Cleo had centerfolds. Like, you got to remember, it was an era where it was all acceptable. And that's why in the era of Epstein, Harvey Weinstein, all of those, it was all that it's okay. It's okay, which it's never okay.
Yeah.
We were conditioned to go, oh, he pinched my bum, keep walking.
Absolutely. Wolf whistle, great.
You'd tell your parents that you saw a flasher in the park, they go, oh, just make sure you go with someone, right?
Yes.
Like, that was the era, right? So it's this conditioning. We've got to recondition. We've got to recondition that, women are as skilled at sport as men. We have to recondition that you can actually do whatever you like because you can't, just don't get stuck up. Like, my oldest son was a bit of a hippie and a bit of a challenge for because he wasn't the norm. I just assumed that they followed this path.
Yeah.
And they don't. Children are a great teacher.
Yeah.
And so, he taught me acceptance. He taught me tolerance. He taught me humor. He taught me so many things. And
patience.
He had to smash the conditioning that it has to look like that. My life has to look like that.
Yeah.
I grew up and I don't think I saw a person of colour until I was 17 years old.
Yeah.
Right. So I just didn't think that they were the same. But then I saw this documentary on skin, on colour, right? And they said, let's understand racism, right? And what I loved about this, it talked about the fact that the difference between me and a black person, right, really dark black person, is our ability to absorb vitamin D.
Yeah, right.
That's it. That is the only difference. And the reason being is that if you're in England and you don't get much sun, you have to be a pale redhead to absorb every little bit of sun to get vitamin D.
Oh, wow.
If you are a African Zulu that is in 40 degrees in the desert, you have to be as black as night because you get so much sun, you don't want to overrun
too much vitamin D.
Too much vitamin D. Right? So in actual fact, all of these things of racism is all about vitamin D absorption. That's it. That
is so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why the problem is when people with coloured skin goes to England, they get brittle bones. And that's why red people, right, go to Africa, they get skin cancer.
Like, this is amazing.
And we've spent years of going, oh, they're this and they're this. And it's like, no, it's about vitamin D absorption. That's it.
That is unbelievable. I love that. I think I'm going to teach that to the kids at school. Like, that is amazing.
Yeah, I know. That's all it is. That's the only difference. But it goes back to conditioning, right? Yeah. It goes back to conditioning.
It's such a simple concept. I love it.
Tell your dad about that.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think at 80 he's too old to change?
Oh, who knows?
I don't know. He still comes out with a few things and we've taught the kids to just go, just don't say anything, just don't engage.
Oh my God, my parents were homophobic. And they were going, you shouldn't encourage children because that's how they become gay. It's like, no, that's not how they become gay. They're born that way.
Oh, both mine voted no. No, you cannot have marriage, equal. I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah, my son said to me once, he goes, I know I'm heterosexual. I said, how do you know that? He goes, because I've tried both ways and I like it that way. I went, okay.
That's fantastic.
Good, at least you know.
Yes. That's one way to be sure. I love that. That's terrific.
Apparently, I wouldn't know because I've never gone that way. I've only gone that way. So maybe I am, and I just don't know.
You know what? It's never too late to change.
Never too late. Never too late.
That's right. Be open, Oh, okay. So, we digress and I love it. Who is one person that by any definition of success that you would say is really successful or has achieved greatness or whatever it may be? Any definition of success?
See, I don't define the success as dollars.
No, it doesn't have to be.
So then it's like, and you don't know behind people's doors.
Yeah, it's true.
To know, because I might go, gee, George Clooney, right? He seems successful, right? Because he's got this intelligent woman with him. He's got the courage to be able to have someone more powerful than him. She's beautiful. He's got money. He has a good sense of humor. He looks like he's successful. Then I look at someone like, a wealthy billionaire whose children are suing them.
Yeah.
And I go, is that success? I don't know. I mean, I know that the only time I truly feel successful is when I've got my kids around me and they want to be there and we're playing, Risk or some sort of game, right? Then I go, yeah, I've made it. It's not, how many beds can you sleep in? Financial freedom is awesome, right? But that's what it is. It's freedom to choose. It doesn't make you happy, as you can tell by all the things that are coming out with Epstein and all the things that you see with these so-called rich people. That was probably the other thing when I was on Bowie's boat, because I came from like lessons your own money, and seeing all these rich and famous people, I saw then that money didn't make you happy. It just didn't.
Yeah. It's such a delusional thing. Even like social media, though, you look at people and they look like they've got all, because you only see the highlight reels, and it's like, but you just don't know what goes on.
Yeah. I mean, look, I look at myself and I go, I'm successful, not because of Boost, not because of anything else, other than the fact that 30 years I still dig my husband more than I have 30 years ago. In actual fact, I barely met him. I barely knew him when we got married. So lucky. I think we were married in 8 months. I barely knew him. Right? So lucky that we got
that turned out.
Yeah. I've got 4 adorable kids. Like, they're great kids, so different. So that's my success. So
and your health.
And I'm healthy, right? But I work at my health, right? So people like fast cars. I like health gadgets. Whether it's a red light bed or a sauna or so. Yeah, so I take the fact that this vehicle that I call myself is I need to respect it and I need to do the right thing by it. And by doing that, I love my body, not because I've got knobbly knees and I've got all that, not because it looks great, is because it allows me to get in the water every day. It allows me to play pickleball. It allows me to walk up hills. So I truly feel successful for those reasons.
I would love it if you would share your health routine. Like, what are your gadgets? What do you do? What's your routine like?
I've got, so routine is get in the ocean, have a surf, come back, sauna, jump in the pool. Yeah. Then I do a red light bed. And then I've just got a new toy and it's called a hydrobaric chamber.
Oh, is that the oxygen?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's my latest toy.
My last guest had one too, Matt Nunn.
Oh, there you go. Yes. So you got to do, which is the hardest thing, you got to do 60 days in 90 to get, apparently that's what the research is on. So I don't mind, like, I take my laptop in and I'm lucky we're not in there now doing it really. But yeah, I take my laptop in and just work for a couple of hours and I love it. I know that my husband had a few blood tests done and his before and after were crazy. So yeah, so I take my health. Like, I take supplements. I'm a really early adopter onto anything. David Sinclair, I'm waiting for his pill to come out. So yeah, so very much an early adopter. And
obviously, foods. Are there any non-negotiables?
I try not to have processed food.
Yeah.
I try to I'm not manic. Like, I'm not like it has to be organic, has to be this, has to be that. But yeah, no, I have a really big smoothie in the morning, which fills me up. And in the smoothie is like half a cup of olive oil, cheese seeds, strawberries, protein powder, resveratrol, creatine, everything I can chuck in the smoothie, I just chuck in. And so I do that, and that kind of keeps me full until dinner nearly.
Yes, yeah. It's almost the old keto with the high fat and things as well, which is awesome.
Yeah, and lots of olive oil. Like, because I'm very impatient, and because with all the babies I've had 4, at the end of the pregnancy I was over it, I was done. So I'd also take castor oil to try and bring the baby on. And it worked, but it was disgusting. So I'm not a fan of just taking olive oil like that.
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny. I did hear about that. I remember at the time with my third, I was like, oh, what do I do here? But I didn't quite get there. So
I was like, I'm done. Out.
I understand.
Yeah.
Well, lastly, is there anything we haven't covered that you would like to share with us?
No, I think probably the fundamental one, that if you take nothing else out of this conversation, it's actually getting your foundations right with how you talk to yourself, and just check in how you talk to yourself. Check if what you're saying is a verb, or check that and check whether you're choosing to soar. I think that was probably my big pivot into the life I have, is because I'm accountable for my whole life. So probably that. But other than that, just have fun.
Yeah. No, I love that. That's such great advice. It all starts with your thinking, and I'm a full believer of that as well. So thank you so much, Janine. It's just been such a pleasure.
No, my pleasure.
It's really lovely to talk to you. Thank you again.
Bye.
Bye. I hope you got as much out of this conversation with Janine as I did. So many great insights into not only starting and running a business, but also into life. And if you enjoyed this episode and Janine's thinking, check out my chat with Emma Murray, mindset coach to some of the best athletes in the world, who also embodies this way of positive thinking and how it can improve your health, wealth, and life in general. I'll put the link below. Don't forget to hit subscribe or follow so you don't miss an episode. Thanks so much for joining me. Until next time.